We're going to get right into it. Have you ever noticed that they drop stories that are really important, but they don't want you to really pay attention to, right? They're really important, but they don't really want you paying attention to them. They always drop them on Friday night before you go into the weekend. Have you guys ever noticed that? Stacy and I are hard at work on the garden. We're pulling out all the spent bounty for the year. Stacy's been working on fermenting in the outdoor kitchen. And so we're probably pretty busy, and you guys are probably pretty busy, and you might have missed the largest data breach in U.S. history.
A massive data breach may have impacted billions of people across the globe, according to a new class action lawsuit, which means Social Security numbers and other sensitive information could now be up for sale on the dark web. So how did this happen? A company called Jericho Pictures, which operates as National Public Data, is a Florida-based background check company. NPD takes data from public record databases, national and state databases, and court records. It then sells that data to a range of organizations like background check websites, investigators, app developers, and data resellers. According to the lawsuit, in April of this year, a hacking group called USDOD breached NPD systems and stole private information. The suit goes on to say in a post on the dark web on April 8th, USDOD claimed they stole 2.9 billion records of personal data and were trying to sell them for $3.5 million. That personal data includes names, address histories, relatives, and social security numbers. In a statement on their website, NPD acknowledges the breach and says, "We cooperated with law enforcement and governmental investigators and have implemented additional security measures. We reached out to NPD, but did not hear back."
We don't know fully if it's 2.9 billion individual records or if these are multiple reports. Now, this is a background checking company that basically looks at, making sure you don't have a record if you go to a job employment, but they have access to all of these national databases that can pull information on any U.S. citizen. And there's hundreds, if not thousands, of these organizations, background check facilities, companies around the country. And with the 2.9 billion, that number may dwindle a little bit, but it's not going to be substantially lower than that. We can pretty much assume that this is the largest data breach we've ever seen around Social Security numbers in the history. I mean, I was impacted by OPM, which was the big data breach around classified, top secret folks that are contractors or folks that were in the military. I was part of that as well. This pales in comparison to that. This is a much larger data breach.
So you have people at home right now saying, is it me? Am I one of them? How do you find out if, in fact, you are one of them? And if you find out you are, what do you do?
There's a class action lawsuit out right now for this particular area, and there's information being basically set up so you can actually go and check. It's not fully up and operational yet for checking. But I mean, I would assume 2.9 billion people. There's a good chance that you're going to be on there. I mean, I would say statistically, it's going to be in the upward of 90 percentile of U.S. citizens that are probably impacted by this. So you should assume that your Social Security number is now compromised and breached, unfortunately.
Wow, that is incredible. We reported that some people were actually safe because they took extra steps like opting out services. What are other things that people can do to protect themselves from future breaches?
Two things that are really important to note is that, Social Security numbers in general are such a legacy piece of data. We need to move to more of a digital format, and the government really needs to be pushing for more digital ways of identifying individuals that are unique to an individual. Social Security numbers were never designed to be a security mechanism. I mean, they were designed in like the 50s and 40s, and I think a lot has changed since then around technology. So we need to do a better job around Social Security numbers and how we actually protect people's personal information.
I also did a video a little while ago about Social Security cards and how they were never intended to be our identification. They swore it up and down. You guys can actually go look at the documents about it if you want to go search them out. This was never to be an identifier, and yet here we are. And then if you paid attention to his remedy, it was digital security, and that's where the stuff got hacked, was on the digital side. So I don't know, is this a psyops to push everyone into the digital ID? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. And also at the same time, right, at about the same time, because this all happened back in April and we're just now finding out about it, but there's been a lot of talk about this Act Blue, and all of a sudden when they announced Kamala Harris was going to become the new presidential nominee for the Democratic Party, all of a sudden she got $1 bazillion from all these small donors through Act Blue. And then it turns out that all of this activity is basically fraudulent. Here's a clip from someone who says they never donated to Act Blue.
Hello everyone, I'm sitting here with my mother and I decided to take a look at the election watch to see if my mother's name was safe and secure with her name being used for contributions, and we found out that her name was being used over 30 times for Bernie Sanders contributions. Mom, did you make any contributions to Bernie Sanders?
Absolutely not.
Angie Jones from Indiana submitted a video of her mother, Alberta Jones, who goes by Mrs. Robert Jones, saying she did not donate to Act Blue or a Bernie Sanders PAC, as the FEC records show, from 2019 to 2024.
So you're positive you didn't make any?
I'm very positive. I have bank records that show where my contributions went.
Great. So you would turn those records over to me to prove that you didn't make these contributions?
Yes, indeed.
Alberta Jones gave O'Keefe Media her consent to show these bank records, proving during the time period of 2019, no donations were given to Act Blue at all.
How does it make you feel that your name was used?
I feel violated.
I'm sure you probably do. Well, I'm going to be turning this over to James O'Keefe, and hopefully we can get something done so we can stop this dark money from coming in. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Recent FEC records also show the Jones household, Alberta as Mrs. Robert Jones, has donated to Act Blue in 2024. That's despite the fact Alberta Jones says she's only donated to Republicans, including Trump and the RNC, and she has the receipts to prove it. How much do you donate a year, approximately?
Probably $600 to $700.
And
closer to the election, I could give up to $1,000.
And who? Say again, who you donate to?
To Trump, primarily Trump Save America.
Trump Save America. And when did your husband, Robert, pass away?
July the 12th, 2018.
Well, according to the FEC website, it says that your late husband is donating to Act Blue in 2024. It says that...
No way.
It says... Friends of Bernie Sanders...
Yep.
April of 2024, $10.30 a month. Monthly.
Month. I can tell you, I wouldn't bother to write a check for $10.
This is Act Blue, Friends of Bernie, Act Blue. Yep.
Yep, that's what I found, same thing.
How did you find that out? Did you put your name in the FEC website?
Well, yeah, I did what you did. I watched your video, and I thought, I'll just look and see if my mom's on there, thinking they wouldn't because they're Republicans, and I didn't think Act Blue would go to a Republican account, and lo and behold, was I wrong. Over 30 times is what I saw that in 2019 from Friends for Bernie. I think it was like Friends for Bernie 2020.
The Jones household says they are going to call Act Blue and tell them they are recording the call. We hope an army of victims follow in Angie and Alberta Jones's footsteps.
Mine went right to the breached Social Security numbers, and maybe they're using those to launder the money through the political campaigns. I don't know. Leave a message down below on what you think. I just wanted to make sure that you knew this information because it's pretty important. If you guys do any kind of credit or banking or anything like that, maybe you want to double check your Social Security numbers or just double check your credit period and make sure you haven't had anything added to it or anything. Just double check your credit and make sure you're not being taken advantage of. There's other methods that you can take to self-guard yourself, and I would suggest that you look into those the best you can, okay? This is a pretty good one. You might want to share this one with your friends because a lot of people probably don't know this happened, and this is a big deal. This is a big deal, okay? That's a lot of information. A lot of information. Share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
Every American's Social Security number may have been leaked in a massive data breach. The data stolen from national public data was reportedly dumped on a dark web forum by a hacking group called USDOD. The group, which is offering to sell the stolen records, claims to have personal data for everyone in the U.S., UK, and Canada. People potentially affected are advised to monitor their credit reports and manage their passwords effectively.